Good day, I'm Mr. Van Niekerk and this is a lesson for grade 11 mathematical literacy. The topic for today is distance and cost calculations. Right, so firstly, let's just look at, for fuel consumption, there's two ways in which you can express fuel consumption. The first is to say it's a certain amount of liters per 100 kilometers. And the second way of expressing fuel consumption is to say a certain amount of kilometers per liter. Alright, so let's look at an example. If we say that car 1 has I'm just going to say fuel consumption, like this. Let's write there, fuel consumption. Car 1 has a fuel consumption of 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers and drives 900 kilometers each month. So how many liters would the car use over the 900 kilometers? So we write this as a proportion. We start with the fuel consumption that we have, 6.5 to 100 is equal to a certain amount of liters, we don't know what it is yet, to 900 kilometers. Okay, we're looking for how many liters would you have to use for 900 kilometers if this is the fuel consumption. So we put these in a proportion. Okay, now we can put it as a fraction, write it as a fraction. So we have 6.5 divided by 100 equal to x over 900. Alright, so now we have an equation and we just have to get x alone. So if we find x, we could multiply on both sides. So basically this side we multiply with the 900 so that they can cancel out, and this side we multiply with 900. Alright, if you type that into your calculator, let's see. So we have 6.5 divided by 100 times 900. Then we get 58.5. Okay, 58.5 what? So we were looking for liters. Remember, the liters came first, then the kilometers. So this is liters, kilometers, liters, kilometers. You can even write that for yourself, not to get confused. You can write there small L and kilometers, and this is also liters, and that one kilometers. Okay, so that you know which one is actually which. So when you find x now, you know, oh, well, that's the amount of liters. So it's 58.5 liters that the car uses to drive 900 kilometers. Okay, that's the first example with the first way of expressing fuel consumption. Let's look at the other way of kilometers per liter. So if we say now, I'm just continuing over here, example 2, car number 2 drives, has a fuel consumption of, let's say, 20 kilometers per liter. And by the way, both of these fuel consumptions are quite good for cars nowadays. So if this car 2 has a fuel consumption of 20 kilometers per liter, and let's say it drives the same 900 kilometers, how many liters will it use? So we're still calculating liters. So we're calculating liters for example 1 and for example number 2. Alright, so we write it as a proportion again. So we start with the 20 kilometers to, well, it just says liters. So it means 1 liter. Okay, 20 kilometers for in 1 liter. So it's 20 to 1 is equal to 900 to a certain amount of liters. Okay, again, you can write kilometers and liters. Kilometers and liters. This would also be kilometers and liters. It has to be in the same order. Kilometers, liters, kilometers, liters. Alright, so we're trying to calculate x again. So we can write this as a fraction. 20 over 1 is equal to 900 over x. So if we find x, you can multiply and divide. This side we would have to multiply, well, both sides you would have to multiply with x. Let's write it like this. You would have to multiply with x on both sides, okay, so that x can be at the top, and we would have to divide with 20, okay, over here, so that the 20 can be on that side. So I'm just going to write it like this, times x divided by 20 and times x divided by 20. Okay, then we have 900 divided by 20, which gives us, let's see, 900 divided by 20 gives us 45. Okay, 45 watt. Remember, x was liters. Okay, we were calculating amount of liters for 900 kilometers. So it's 45 liters that car 2 uses to drive the 900 kilometers. All right. Okay, so that's the way that we calculate the amount of liters. You do it exactly the same way if you have to calculate kilometers. Okay, if I said the fuel consumption is 20 kilometers per liter, and you have, for example, 50 liters in the tank, how many kilometers can you drive? Then you also put this in a proportion, and you just calculate the unknown. Right, in that case, the unknown would have been amount of kilometers. Okay, if we take the question further and say the price per liter is, I think it's around about, let's say it's 13 Rand 50 per liter. Okay, if we take this question further, let's make this number 3. What would the price be for car 1 and for car 2 to drive the 900 kilometers? Okay, so for car 1, it used 58.5 liters. 58.5 liters. And we have the price per liter now, okay, that you get at the fuel station. So now we can just multiply the 58.5 liters with the 13 Rand 50. Okay, then we get the cost that car 1 has to pay to drive the 900 kilometers. So the calculation is 13 Rand 50 times 58.5, and if we type that into calculator, we have 789 Rand 75. Okay, that's the cost to drive 900 kilometers for car 1. For car 2, we do the same thing. Car 2 used only 45 liters. So car 2 has the same 13 Rand 50 per liter. Let's just move up a little bit here. So we have 13 Rand 50 times 45 liters this time. And if we type that into the calculator, let's see what we get. 13 Rand 50 times 45 gives us 607 Rand 50. Alright, so car 1, it costs 789 Rand 75 to drive 900 kilometers. And car 2 has a cost of 607 Rand 50 to drive 900 kilometers because it used less fuel. Okay, so basically the fuel consumption was better. Okay, so in this case we could see that 20 kilometers per liter is a better fuel consumption than 6.5 liters over 100 kilometers. If we have to convert liters per 100 kilometers to kilometers per liter, okay, basically converting between these two. Alright, if we have to, we can switch between these two, so that's what we're doing now. So we convert the 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers to a certain amount, okay, of kilometers per liter. Okay, now just take note that the units are swapped with these two. With this one it's liters and kilometers. This one is kilometers first and then liters. Okay, but that's no problem. We can just write it in the correct order in the proportion. So we have 6.5 to 100 would then be equal to, now see, we have liters and kilometers first. Okay, liters is first, kilometers second. So then we would have to have liters first and kilometers second again. All right, so how many liters is this? If we say so many kilometers per liter, it means per 1 liter. Okay, so the liter is 1, and we're looking for a certain amount of kilometers, x. Okay, so now we have a fraction again. 6,5 over 100 is equal to 1 over x. Okay, if we just write it the other way around, with x at the top, basically we have x equal to 100 divided by 6,5. Okay, that's the calculation that you have. So you just basically use these two. Okay, 100 divided by 6,5. And that gives us 15, let's round off to 2 decimal places, 38. 38. Okay, 15,38 watt. Remember, x now was kilometers. So it's kilometers. So this means that we have now 15,38 kilometers per liter. Okay, so we converted now from liters per 100 kilometer to kilometers per liter. Okay, this is how we're doing the conversion. So every time you see we're using proportion, we write these values as a proportion and then as a fraction, and then we solve x. So the 6,5 liters per 100 kilometers is a 15 kilometers per liter. So it's not as good as the 20 kilometers per liter that we had for car 2. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I hope your studies goes well.